Chapter 12. The Magistrate, the Sheriff, and the Dead. "Change your plan," Cap said to me. The shark drew close as she could go. "There's more now than at the first, you see, with these two pirate ships in tow. We've 16 tied aboard one craft and 18 in the tender. I'll have to see the magistrate, the sheriff, and the vendor. Go fetch Magnus, Snell, and Chris, and that old man of Marseille, and wrap that dead one in a cloth and bring him." I said, "Eh." Magnus responded willingly, as did the Marseille gent, although I'm sure they wondered why on earth they had been sent. And Chris and me and Snell, and the other two as well, were heading to Bastia's port in a little jolly boat. While the others enjoyed the sights and smells, oh yeah, I forgot, the dead man, he was in our boat as well. Now, while the others enjoyed sights and smells, Magnus, me, Chris, and Snell, we rowed. Oh, I might have knowed. Magnus volunteered to stay with the Jolly to make sure it wouldn't stray. Cap told him it's safe, there'd be no folly, but he stayed there anyway. The first one we saw was the magistrate. We said we had prisoners of war. He sent the sheriff to validate, and confirmed we had 34. The coin for reward was coin of the realm. 5 coins for each one, I recall. I counted each one as they crossed my palm. 170 silver in all. Cap asked the old man to relate to this fair magistrate how his fellows by pirates were murdered, how they'd had in their hand grant deeds to some land. Only 8 folks were left. All now were bereft. Could they not still have that land? Judge, gavel in hand, promptly said, "So ordered." Now we had that dead fellow wrapped up in a blanket. Next order of business was he. We asked the sheriff to bring us a cleric, who said he'd embalm him for free. But Cap, he said, "No, it shouldn't be so. We'll not be beholden to any." So he turned to me, said, "Lad, Harmony, a silver, worth 200 penny. The cleric, he stared at the coins in my keep, and I saw my first real taste of greed. And 2 more to bury the man there asleep." Cap spat. Yes, a pirate, indeed. On seeing the glint in Cap's eye, "It's a shame to take alms of a breed so barbaric." And then out of his mouth came, "Oh no, oh my." The man of the cloth was by this time hysteric. "I meant a man of the sword, such as you." "No matter," said Willem, and he remained calm. "Young Morgan, toss him his due." Cap turned on his heel, as did we all 3, and we all 4 spat out the poison. I glanced back to see cleric down on his knee, picking through dirt for his ransom. Cap fairly seethed as we strode down the street, with me, Snell, and Chris right beside him. He mumbled a bit, and I spit where he spit. I could see he was fighting inside him. Now all around town the news was a-spreadin' about us and those pirate marauders, how we'd blown 'em to bits, captured 2 pirate ships, saved near 50, and some captain's daughter. Chapter 13. Buying, Bartering, and Bargaining. When we got to the Chandler there by the docks, a crowd was beginning to grow, slapping our backs and yelling hurrahs. By now I was fairly aglow. "Tend to those clothes," I heard William shout. "Now mind, don't spend all our riches. Get some for you boys, and don't leave that girl out. I don't think she has too much for stitches." The Chandler, I thought. the chore that I was about. I'd forgotten about Aunt Harmy's britches. With the crowd milling round, cheering, laughing and all, I confess I was just a bit dazed. But when they joined in, I felt suddenly small. "Get britches," is all I heard through that haze. I shot Great Uncle Willem a look full of blood, and I mumbled some under my breath. In addition to finding Aunt Harmy some duds, he's now embarrassed me half to death. For now he had added even more to my chore, clothes for that naked young thing. But I sorted through britches 10 minutes or more, though my pride was quite sore from the sting. At last I made purchase, 10 pairs of trousers, not knowing what size they would wear. I chose every size they could seemingly encounter, besides the girl I'd just seen only briefly. Not only briefly, but bare. Of course, I bought some for me and Lime before I quit, and in the end, I needed a cart. I had 'em wrapped up to go back to the ship, feeling pretty grown up and quite smart. Now, while I was a-buying, Cap Willem, he haggled with the chandler over a couple of things. Repairs to the Shark, while she sat there bedraggled, and how much our prize of war brings. He was sitting with Magnus. I'd seen him before, beckoning as I came along pulling my cart. "Young Morgan," he called, to witness, I reckoned, that buying and selling was an art. "Now we have this pink out there in the brink, I suppose worth 1,000 or more," said the chandler named Gus. "Oh, she ain't worth that much. Been shot up by them cannon of yours. Now here's what I'll do. Since she ain't got no crew, I'll give 150, just as she sits." Cap smiled. "Well, now, good lad, she isn't that bad. I'd just as soon blow her to bits. I'll sail her in shallow. I'll run guns through her mallow and leave her to sink in your harbor. Then I'll pull in the Zebek, cause a complete wreck. Unless, of course, you'd rather barter." "Ah, you do have a way, sir. Couldn't be clearer. I think we can come to some bargain. For the smaller one, 4. For the larger, 9 more. And I'll start the repairs in the morning. Before we just shake, one slight change I'll make. The Zebek only will sell. The other, the pink, rather than sell her or sink, we'll have her repaired just as well. Magnus," he turned, "for your homeland you've yearned, that isle in the Balearic Sea. What do you think? Could you manage the pink?" Magnus fell down on one knee. "Get up, man." 'Twas with a spirit of pride I watched it all happen in awe. With 100 folks round us, Cap made this promise. "Well, you have your own crew, 31, 32, she's yours, full seaworthy and all." Then turning to Gus, he said, "Shake on it, brother. We'll do 8 for the other. And when the Shark's all done, repairs are full paid for the other." "Ha! Consider it done," says Gus with a laugh. "And the sheriff's here to record her." He spit in his hand and he held it out, fast. "Now, let me make ready your orders. Cap, let me just say, it's been a good day, Willem. You've treated me fairly. A good bit of fun. And when she's all done, the Zebek will fetch me a good penny. By the way, the young lad there beside you has emptied our shelves of the trousers we had in supply. I fear with his folly 'twill sink yonder jolly. Just leave 'em, and we'll bring 'em by." I looked at Gus and then back at Cap. Felt my ears a-burning. Says Cap, "No, he did exactly as I asked, and some we may be returning. From the chandler there came a loud, "Blimey! By thunder," he roared, "I win all these wars, but you and your crew, they do try me. You've beaten old Gus, boys. You win." And he hung his gray head in mock sorrow. "But I'm done giving in," Gus quipped with a grin. "We'll be boarding your ship on the morrow. We'll bring timbers, sails, nails, and those breeches. Tell the lad here, there'll be no more folly." Gus had us all, even Willem, in stitches, and near cackling we boarded the Jolly.